Now, having a gastric band fitted is often the last resort for obese people, but now a hypnotist from East Yorkshire claims that she can achieve the same weight loss, all without surgery and at a fraction of the cost. 60% of people in Hull are classed as overweight or obese. In 2007, that cost the NHS in the city more than £78 million, a bill that's set to rise to nearly £82 million by next year and keep on rising. Lindsay Smith reports.
She's about to transform the gastric habits of a patient, but Sheila Granger's tools are not surgical instruments, but power of the mind.
A virtual gastric band is a subconscious version of a gastric band operation. I subconsciously give people an operation whereby they believe, or the subconscious believes, that there is a band in place. So, and if the subconscious accepts that suggestion, it becomes a reality, and the person can limit the amount of food that's available in there that they can take into the stomach. Imagine that you're standing in front of a mirror, you're seeing a reflection of yourself.
The sounds of an operating theatre are played out during the hypnosis to help trick the subconscious into believing the band has been put in place.
We're going to step out now so that Victoria's session can continue, but she feels confident because of the 25 people who took part in the survey. They lost 14 stone between them and 5 metres off their body measurements.
There's a group in West Michigan that's redefining success and redefining the way people do that because of their minds.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people need to come to the TV right now.
Yeah.
But joining us here this morning is lifestyle engineer Eric Webster. And Eric, you kind of hit a lot of different aspects of life by doing this.
Yeah, there aren't many things that aren't controlled by people's thoughts. And so it's just a matter of resetting that thought pattern, planting a new suggestion with the weight loss, with the virtual gastric band. I go in and in the session convince the subconscious mind that a gastric band has actually been put around the stomach. But that's sort of a secondary thing, because I find that most people present with they want to lose weight or they want to quit biting their nails, but that's the symptom of the underlying causative factor. And so delving into their minds with the conversation ahead of time then gives me the tools that I need to customize that session to exactly meet their needs.
And it's hypnosis, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So Leanne was kind of joking there. We think of hypnosis as one thing, just as portrayed in a movie or a TV show. Can you give us the Cliff's Notes version of what actually goes into it? A session? Like there is no watch and there is no look deeply into my eyes and listen to my voice, that kind of thing?
Well, listen to my voice
really?
is very prominent, sure. In my office, I have headsets that both I and the client wear. There's some soothing music playing in the headset, and then I talk over that. And it's just very basically, taking them to a really relaxed state, real smooth, easy voice, take them deeper and deeper and deeper. And the music will distract their conscious mind.
Ah, okay.
And then the subconscious mind is more receptive to the suggestions that need to be planted in order to achieve the outcome they're after.
How did you get involved with all of this?
Well, a friend of mine had the virtual gastric band done and dropped about 70 pounds. Wow. And then he took the training in Toronto to become a practitioner. And Sheila Granger came in and was doing training in Chicago and then in Muskegon. And so I did the virtual gastric band training in Chicago and the lifestyle engineer training in Muskegon. And she's coming back in September to do more training here in Grand Rapids.
So let's talk about some of your success stories. What do these people say when they've lost weight, quit smoking, whatever? What's it like when you see them again?
Well, the cool thing is the most successful clients have been telling me that it's impacted their lives on so many levels that they didn't anticipate. And, oh yeah, I lost a bunch of weight as well. And so that's kind of fun. I think that my most successful client has dropped 75 pounds. His wife was so happy with the changes that she saw. She came in. She's down about 35.
Wow.
His goal was to walk the Appalachian Trail with his 20-something sons, and he knew that in his rather rotund state that was not going to be a good thing. Actually, at the end of a 12-hour day of hiking, he was ready to keep going, and the boys were worn out.
Wow.
We have to wrap here, but are the majority of people who come in to see you, are they reluctant at first, thinking, okay, I'll give it a shot, but it's not going to work on me?
Yeah, and it's an interesting process because it isn't for everybody. You know, if people are expecting a golden ticket, you know, that they're going to drop 50 pounds and not change a thing, that's not going to happen. In order for change to happen, there has to be change. But yeah, it's a fascinating process.
Outstanding. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very
We're going to have the
much.
link to the website so you can get upcoming events and contact information if you want to try this out. Redefiningsuccess.net right there. That'll be at fox17online.com as soon as the show is done.
Would you like to come along into the chair? That's where
Yes.
all the magic happens.
All right.
I usually put a blanket to make it cozy. So Raji, and in your own time and when you're ready, just I'd like you to close your eyes, just as you would if you were just thinking about going to sleep. Think about what's going on behind those closed eyes. Maybe it's just a black velvet curtain, or perhaps you can see colors or shapes. Or maybe nothing at all.
Feeling stuck is one of the most common feelings. But what do we really want to be free from? It's human nature to be repetitive at times. We're creatures of habit, but whether that's drinking the same drink every morning or having the same thought over and over again, it's kind of automatic.
And one, an awareness starting to flow throughout your entire body.
We're taking advantage of that and exploring hypnotherapy. When talking about behavioral changes, willpower kind of seems like a chump compared to
4,
the subconscious mind.
And 5, you can open up your eyes, feeling wonderfully awake, alert and ready to take on.
Immigrating from the UK about 20 years ago,
Hi, Raji.
Vicky is one of a few hypnotherapists on the island.
It just felt the most natural thing to do.
It worked so well for her fear of flying, and later, doing a driving test,
I knew that it was in my mind, that the fear was in my mind.
she became intrigued and began training.
I qualified in 2006.
Unlike hypnotists that usually perform on stage, hypnotherapists get real deep.
Basically, get to the root cause of possibly why you're doing something.
Hypnosis is the power of using our most important tool, our mind. But remember, we have two.
If you imagine a triangle that we'll call an iceberg and draw a line across the tip of that triangle, and in that little tiny tip that is seen is your conscious mind, and that's just about 5 to 10% of your mind potential actually. And it's logical, it's where we do our everyday things, but sadly it's where our willpower is stored. Underneath the surface that most people never see is that 90 to 95%. That's the subconscious mind, and that's illogical. It just keeps on doing what it's always done until we ask it to change.
It's emotional, protective, and always listening.
When the conscious mind is calmed, then it's easier for suggestions to go into the subconscious mind to make positive changes.
Vicky's practice is unique because of a technique she uses to help people lose weight. It's called virtual gastric band,
Imagine you've had a procedure and where your stomach is smaller.
suggesting to the subconscious mind that a gastric operation has been done, and now only 3 small meals are needed to be consumed.
Already you are much more aware of when your stomach lets you know it's full.
Takes about 6 sessions with Vicky and listening to daily recordings for a month.
We have to keep repeating.
She's got this really gorgeous voice.
Mary Jane
I hear her voice in my head, 3 small plates.
is coming to the end of her sessions.
To lose 9 pounds without changing anything other than having the hypnotherapy every day and 3 small meals, I think that that's a really good result.
You can eat whatever you want to, you're just going to be satisfied with smaller amounts.
But for Mary Jane, it wasn't about losing 10 or 100 pounds. There was an element of feeling more free here.
It's freedom from the constant thought about food.
Hypnosis requires consent and hyper-awareness.
Concentrating on my voice, that's all you do. I'd just like you to close your eyes.
In Victoria, I'm Raji Kabli.